And welcome to our wonderful panel discussion. Whoops, let me say that again. Take two. Whether it's a panel discussion or a wisdom circle, welcome to our incredible wisdom circle. Welcome to our wonderful panel discussion. And I'll stop the feedback, which we get. Manifesting magic, turning your desires into reality. I love this topic, and I'm so honored to have all these amazing women from all over the world with us today, especially the beautiful and incredible Janaki Mayhill, who's one of our hosts, Sacred Guides Within Sacred You. And today she is offered to facilitate this incredible wisdom circle. So, Janaki, I'm going to hand it over to you to introduce it, to why you're passionate, to tell us why you're passionate about it, and then bring in all these other amazing women as well. And I will be back at the end.
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm grateful for being here. Um, I love, yes, manifesting magic is so everyone has a different perspective on magic, and I'd love to hear everyone's perspective as well. And really, what I see magic is the presence of now. When we truly are in pure presence, this is where we allow everything to unfold and happen, and we tap into that miracle frequency that we already are. And so we get out of our headspace and we really align with our heart self and letting our heart lead the way. And so that's my perspective of magic, because that's where all the fun, unexpected gifts and miracles that letting ourselves look through the eyes of wonder, through the eyes of an infinite child. So I am Janaki Mayhill. With Bhakti Light. I love serving as a muse, mirror, messenger, and mentor. I am a sound weaver, a soul seer, and a quantum igniter, igniting our God spark in one's heart, the remembrance of our true self, of who we are, beyond the noise, beyond the distractions, and realigning with our true frequency of who we are. And one of my zone of genius is simply being God's muse, channeling, singing, playing music. And that's what I love and lights me up so much. So I'll keep these introductions short and we'll go to Laura. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hi, and I am so excited to be here. My name is Laura, and I am an ADHD habit coach. So I help people overcome unwanted habits such as hair pulling, skin picking, procrastination, stress eating, all of those things that people say, why can't I stop doing this? And the way that I approach these things is that they're all just a signal of dysregulation. And so when we can bring regulation back into the picture, when we can come back to ourselves, when we can listen to ourselves, these behaviors that frustrate us kind of melt away. And so I love this topic because one of the things that's really important in the work that I do is looking at, well, what do you want, and how do we let that be our guiding light rather than how do I get out of this stuff that I don't want? And so I'm really excited to be here and talk about manifesting magic.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura.
Yeah.
And uh, Kanika, I choose to remember how to pronounce your name.
Yes,
Is it okay?
you're
Yes.
saying
Okay.
that right. Yeah,
Thank
thank you, Janaki.
you. Welcome.
I am Kanika. I'm an energy expansion coach. I help coaches and heart-led entrepreneurs expand their business, bring more income, bring more authority, and bring more meaning so that we all have this ripple effect of creating just a much more better, fulfilled world.
So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And Joanna, you
Yes,
may
hi
be.
everybody. Joe here from Australia, down under, northern New South Wales, land of milk and honey. I'm I'm a coach too. I am an empowerment coach. I work with women with anxiety and overwhelm, and guiding them to find their true self and live their true life. And manifestation is a huge part of that, living the way we choose. So I'm excited to be here on this journey with you, talking about manifesting magic. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. And Abby, how about you?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Abby Teixeira. I am in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and also Treaty 6 territory. I'm a speaker, I'm a published writer, an author, trauma recovery coach, and feminine business mentor. I'm also a complex trauma survivor and have been in recovery from addiction for 11 years. And most importantly, I am a mama of four. I help cycle breaking women, especially moms, coaches, healers, and creatives of the global majority. So these are Black, Indigenous women of color, women and femmes of color, really rise from survival and lead from their truth. My work blends identity shifting, transformational coaching, ancestral wisdom, and feminine leadership to help gain in reclaiming your voice, your power, your purpose. I'm also the founder of the Healing Mama Collective and Reclaim and Rise gatherings. And I truly believe that, I deeply believe that our lived experience is really what holds the medicine in the world. And that really is the magic, right? So I'm excited to have this conversation with you all. And yeah, thank you.
So awesome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. And Denise.
Hi, thanks, Janika. Denise here. I I help and support people to self-heal through trauma, physical, emotional, mental, to rise into their spiritual, allowing them to see the full self of them, to see their full self in truth and love and compassion and healing, so they can then on pass that to their children and their children and their children. So it becomes a natural way of living. Is self-healing is we are born with it, we've just lost it, and we were never shown it. So it's reclaiming that back again and allowing that magic to live in our daily lives. And yeah, love being here to share magic manifestation. It's yeah, I believe that it's a natural way of being.
Beautiful. And will you lead us on ways of what is your perspective of magic? Because we all have different perspectives. What is your perspective? What way do you play with magic?
Uh, I think magic is every part of us. Magic is the good of us. Magic is the bad of us. Magic is the fantastic of us. Magic is our natural state of being, and it's just going through every part of those, because through the dark we've got to find the light, because the light is in the dark. So the magic is going through the dark to find the light, whether that's trauma, whether those things that we feel stuck with. It's just allowing ourselves to see ourselves as the magic, because we're put in so many boxes that we don't realize that who we are is the magic. I am the magic. I am the manifestation. I am everything I'm here to be. And I know that's really broad, but for myself, it's allowing myself to be me. That is the magic. Allowing myself to see me, to know me, to taste me, to feel me, to hear me. It's all those things round up, and it's living that on a constant basis. It's because nothing's ever perfect. It's not supposed to be. The perfection is, there is no perfection. It's through all the undoing, the mess, the greatness, everything. That's the magic, and that's where I find myself. And that's where I get to see myself, hold myself, love myself, because it starts with me first.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's so much in alignment too, because right even before this, I was speaking with Laura. I have a masterful class, and it's divine imperfections, and that is the magic, is really embracing our whole full soul of who we are instead of striving for this idea of who we think we are, being who we truly are,
Yeah,
and
so
embracing
true.
that. It's so perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Abby, what about you? Would you like to
Yeah,
share?
absolutely. I love thinking of magic as your own unique medicine. I feel like it's very individualized, and the way that we're able to best kind of showcase that to the world is through authenticity, right? Is through showing up as who we are, right? Our unique selves, without the masking, without the people pleasing, without all those layers that come into place that really dim our light and our magic. There's a lot of layers when we think about you just even getting to that path of discovering what is my unique magic, right? There's a transformative process that happens of really discovering self-discovery of there's certain gifts that we have that we carry ancestrally, and some that is from this lifetime and all of that kind of stuff. And so I really do believe that the best form of magic that happens is when we truly show up as authentically, as visibly, as we possibly can, because my message is meant for my sliver of humanity, just like each and every one of us, right? We're not here to be for everyone, right? My magic is not for everyone. It is for a specific, sliver of humanity that I have the honor and a privilege to be able to impact. They say that each one of us, even if we didn't try in our lifetimes, can impact up to 1,000 people's lives, right? Those are like just by our everyday doing, our everyday lives. But those of us who are intentionally here to create, magic in the world, right? Like it opens up even a bigger, kind of impact, right? And so it's really beautiful when you start to see and feel what everybody's individual magic is, right? And I'm already starting to see it even in the conversation that we're already having, so yeah, that's some thoughts.
I love that. I love that so much. One time I was in my devotional practice and I connect with the elements in gratitude and reverence. Water told me the highest form of currency when I was thanking waterfall, the currency is authenticity. So yes, so true. It is, it's being our authentic expression and letting our soul shine through it's embracing our whole full soul. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Joanne, will you share?
Yeah. So for me, and I agree with everybody that's spoken already, but I see magic as energy unseen. It's something that we can't always, it's not tangible, but because we're always manifesting, right? So it depends on whether we're manifesting what we do want or manifesting what we don't want. So for me, it's about getting into that vibrational energy of the feeling of what it is you are creating or moving towards. So we're either in a low vibrational state or in a high vibrational state, and I think the magic in that is that you can play with that. You can feel where you're at any given moment and decide to do whatever you need to do. And for me, it's through ritual, through practice, through process, through yoga, through a whole different modalities on different days, depending on what the body is feeling and what the heart is desiring, and doing it. At the moment, I'm doing a 21-day, calm, connected, and Christmas ready coaching program free in my group, and it's fascinating, right? Like these are like 5-minute little snips of what you can do to raise your vibration, basically, and be in that beautiful, attractive state whilst moving towards this busy season. And I just noticed, and I've noticed this a lot over the years, I've been 40 years in the industry, it's okay to say, you can give people these tools or do these rituals. It's another thing them actually taking them on. And I think there's something in that as well, because I feel like there's deeper layers that we need to explore so they're ready to receive what they're being offered. And so, yeah, it is the unseen, right? And you have to have a lot of trust in that, right? And I've got an example of that for me personally recently, and I'll share that a bit later. But yeah, just seeing that magic as unseen and doing the things that you need to do to raise your vibration, to get into a state of receiving. And in that comes the releasing as well. All right, because when we're doing the work, when we're doing the practice, we're actually releasing all of this from our energy field and our physical, emotional, mental, all the fields. So yeah, that's how I see it in a nutshell.
I love that. Thank you so much. And again, with, the elements, they tell me so much. Air reminded me the power of the unseen yet deeply felt. So it's feeling it within our body, and it is the unseen because we may not see it yet, and it's having certainty and conviction of what we know within ourselves, the inner knowing. So I love that so much. Thank you so much. Kanika, did I pronounce it right?
Yes, you did. Thank you. I'm loving the conversation here. I think magic, is being present, is being authentic. It's also getting ready. The way I see magic, or like we've all heard, that this is a world of illusion. So we are all living in the magic. And what I just love about this realization is that when I shift myself, then the magic around me changes. Like I could be in the negative spirally thoughts and I could have a whole different world. And let's say I've worked on myself, the same world, the same people, and it's as if I have uplifted, gone to a different timeline, and it's just a different magical world. So our very existence is magical because my thoughts can start it. The fact that we can jump timelines, we can be in a completely new vibrational state, attracting different things, is magical. Our existence, everybody else's existence around us, it's anything we touch, feel, is magical. Like our bodies, our atoms, they have 99.99999% space. Really. So that itself, we are magical beings. Like if you think of that, we're so empty in a way, and then we feel solid when we touch each other. It's magical.
Yes.
So that's my definition of magic, that we are magic and everything around us is magic. We are living in a magical world.
I love that so many of us were remembering this. It's not like this woo-woo, funny, weird. It's no, this is we are magic, we are miracles, and we're all remembering this. And I find the more we remember this and embody that, then it emanates into our world. It becomes that ripple into the unified field. That's so amazing. Thank you. Laura, will you share?
Yes. And so my thoughts on what magic is really aligns with what Joanne was saying. And so I look at it as that which is hard to see, hard to touch, hard to measure. I think of it more as like a softer science, right? It's there, but it might not be there on our timeline or when we go to measure it or when we go to touch it. It might not be accessible to us, but it's still there, just on its own time. Um, and so, yeah, I think of it as kind of this, we need this blend of that soft science and the faith and who we are and our authenticity. And I think when we pile all of those things together, we can create amazing things that, without that, we might not believe in ourselves. We might not know that we can, right? But with all of those layers together, we can do amazing things.
Yes. Oh, that is so, so, so true. Wow, I love what each of you have shared about magic. And as I shared in the beginning, it really is in the presence of now, because when we are, in my perspective, because that's where everything and nothing is simultaneously. And as you were sharing, Kanika, with we're all space. So we are everything and we are nothing. So I one time was in a devotional practice and I received the message that it was with air, and that's what I heard is you're here to experience the perception of individuality, of duality, and the perception of separation for your experience of integration of true liberation. And I'm like, oh, And so it's fun. It's like, wow, this is, I see life as a game, and it's like, okay, what game are we playing today? And sometimes, like, we are, we do go into those lower. I've been in a lot. I'm sure a lot of us maybe have this year. It's the year of the snake. It's a lot of shedding. It's going into the darkness, and so we've gone into, and so, like, in my personal journey, I've been in a lot of valleys. And when I was in the valley, I heard, it's in the valley we receive our gold. That's where we get dirty. That's where we see the gold that's underneath the surface that we may not see yet. It's in that unseen, and it's in the mountaintops that we see the gold we receive. So it's the rhythm of life that we're meant to, the remembrance of having this, so we can have this experience. So I agree with all of you so fully, because yeah, we are magical beings, and it's fun to remember that. It's fun to remember the power that we hold within us, and we share, and it's truly as within, so without, as below, so above. And I'm witnessing how that is so true now. And it's that fun.
Yeah, I'd love to add to that, because I think,
Yes.
listening, and everyone's has just brought so much to this, and it's just so beautiful. But also, part of the greatest magic is that, through it all, we feeling everything, and holding ourselves in that to feel it, because that's where the unfolding is, isn't it? When we're feeling everything, we get to then pay attention to that and go, oh, that's what that means to me. And feeling allows us to shed. Feeling allows us to see it. Feeling it allows us to even go deeper, because we can't go anywhere without feeling.
That is so true. And again, elements speak to me. So when I was outside in the rain, that's what I heard. Rain brings on the rain of creation, and water represents our feeling world. And what are we made of? Water. And so that's what you are so on point. And it's letting ourselves, like, my I am journeys, I call them inner amplified magic, because magic exists in the presence of now. And it's like, when we go into the shadow aspect of ourselves, be real and feel, because that's where we are, is be real. And I find with myself in my journey, the more radical honesty I have with myself, the faster I move through things. And the more I want to move through things, the more I stay stuck.
And I feel that and this is where you seek out those people, or seek out beautiful souls like yourself, to help you learn how to feel, because we've been told to keep it quiet, just to follow, to keep it in line with everything else. So we've all grown up, and there's that next generation that's grown up with not knowing how to feel, that we have to feel a certain way about certain things because that's what we're taught to do. So, that's towing the line and following. Well, we're to break away from that and relearn. And this is where, people don't know. So in places like these, seeking out those coaches that best suit you to actually learn how to feel, because it can be ugly. I'm an ugly feeler at times. I look an absolute mess, and it's like, I remember someone asking me, are you okay? I said, no, I'm actually not. And they did not know what to do with that. But I said, but I know I'll be okay when I've moved through this. But feeling, doesn't matter what it looks like. It's the best thing to unravel and regain.
Yes.
Yeah, I
the
want to
wisdom.
I want to
Yes.
jump on that if that's okay, because it's such a big piece, isn't it? And it's a piece that a lot of people avoid, like really avoid, because it could be it's very fearful to look at what's maybe there, the unseen. But it's important. It's an important piece, and that was where I was going with the ritual practice. Doing the things that we need to do to explore what's going on in our body, mind, spirit, heart, and having somebody, like, as you said, Denise, to support you with that process is so important, because I don't think many people would go there alone. Like the trauma work that I've had to do, I didn't even know existed to be start. I wouldn't have done that on my own without someone guiding me to heal that. Because in that, you're releasing those shedding that you're talking about, the old parts of ourselves that no longer, serve us. But we don't know that till we actually go there and see them. So practice, process, find something that's this is to the women out there watching, that's going to help you release. And you have to relax before you can release. It's not easy because how many of us just run around all day doing all the things? We don't make the time for that. And it's imperative to make time to really just even sit and have the intention of breathing and releasing what's not serving you and your body. The body's wisdom is incredible. Yeah. So absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, bringing that, Denise, because it is such a big piece.
Yes, it is. And with release, the way my brain works, I see words as different things. As I was creating this email for the masterful class, release, real ease. That's when we give ourselves permission to shed and let go. That's where we have the real ease and stop holding on. And I feel that's what this year of the snake has brought us, is that opportunity of those things to crumble. And if we have a tight hold on them, it can seem our worlds are crumbling. And so I'd love to, anyone else would like to build on this, or we can go to sharing the ways that you have manifested magic in your world.
I think
I'd
I'll
love
just
to.
add here.
Oh, yes.
I look at the whole manifesting magic piece as awareness, alignment, and action. And it's a lot around awareness and alignment that we've been talking about, that we get aware, oh, this is something that I'm feeling, and maybe we want to run away from it. And then there's a process, a little bit like a little push and pull. Sometimes it can be faster for people, especially if you're getting help, if you're tapping into some practices to help you get into that alignment. But once you're getting there, so for example, for me, if it had to be, let's say, shame around something, and I see this with a lot of clients as well when they're wanting to shift their money blocks, there could be shame attached to it. There could be ancestral trauma attached to it. There could just be programming, patterning attached to that. And then once you have worked through it, then the next step is inspired action. What is it inspiring you to do? So yes, all this energy work, all these beautiful modalities, they're amazing. And then the guidance is, okay, what is the action now that you're going to do? And it's like a baby, maybe even start with your first baby step, but take that action. And that's how manifesting starts.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. I love all the wisdom that we're all sharing and how it's all interwoven in together. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. So yeah, anyone else either like to build with that? This is the structure, the magic of the structure, letting the water flow as it goes, as water does. And if you'd like to share some experiences, how you have personally manifested your desires, manifested miracles, manifested magic in your world, and what were some of the steps that you did?
Okay, I think if I continue there and then talk around some of the things. So I've always dived deep into what is it that the higher self then wants me to do. So like, for example, one of the times I was talking around my business and I'm like, I don't know, I've stepped into this and it's not really shaping up the way I wanted it to. And then you let the guidance come in. And sometimes guidance is going to be scary. And that's the whole point. It is going to be a little bit scary. Like it has to be a little bit more uncomfortable so that you peel off your older layer and step in the new one. And for me, that guidance was to hold a magnetic visibility summit. That was the first thing. That was like getting a lot of other speakers on with me and sharing the stage with them, holding that space. It was totally out of my comfort zone. But did it change the game? Yes, it did. And if I look back even at the previous manifestations that I've done, it's always been an extra uncomfortable step. Little discomfort, sort of like when the child learns to crawl or walk. It's not easy. They get up and they fall, but they don't really go like, oh, I fell down. I'm never going to walk again in my life. They keep doing it, and so should we. But look at your next aligned step, and there are just so many manifestation stories I've had. Just because I've leaned in, or I help my clients lean in to that first little aligned thing, and then the magic follows.
Mm. Yes, yes, yes. So beautiful, so beautiful. Anyone else we can popcorn in, or if you want to go in order, I'm great with letting our magic flow in.
I can go. I have several examples that I wrote about recently, and kind of along the spectrum of manifesting. I think it was Joe who was saying sometimes we manifest things we don't want, sometimes we manifest things we want. I had this, service that was sending me clothes once, and these pair of pants came, and they were like over $100, which is just not. I don't spend that much on clothes, but I loved them. I love orchids. There was this beautiful like white and black orchid print. And so it felt really out of alignment with me, but I loved them so much that I went ahead and got them. And not too long after that, wearing them, I actually sprayed cherry juice on them. I was pitting cherries and sprayed it. And I realized afterwards, I was like, I didn't think that I was worthy of these pants, right? This was out of alignment with me. This was not how I saw myself. And so this is where I am, right? The universe said, well, if you don't think you're worth this, then okay, so be it, right? And then another example that I got was, I was doing a bit of work with manifesting money, and I read Amanda Francis has a fantastic book that I was reading and kind of learning more about that. And I remember I came home we were on vacation, came home, and I had spent all this energy kind of, thinking about money and how to manifest money and how to get in that space. And we got a check in the mail for like, I don't know, $1,500 or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. I manifested the money, right? And I went and told my husband, and he was like, oh yeah, that was an error that they sent that to us. Like we have to send that back to the car insurance company because there was a mix up. And so that was my example of I manifested it, but I wasn't ready to keep it, right? Like it came to me, but I wasn't ready to hold on to it yet. And then, my other example, my husband, we dated for a while, and then something just didn't feel right. Like, I ended up breaking up with him. I felt terrible because I thought he was an amazing person, but I felt like I needed to do a bit more work on me. And so I did that, right? And I focused on me and what do I need and what do I need for me, not because somebody else wants this of me or wants me to look like this or be like this or do this. And several months down the road, he came back into the picture, and we spent several months after that just being friends and spending time together and not dating, and then me finally realizing that I was ready for the relationship. But that was something that I had to let this relationship go, and I had to let go of what I thought I wanted it to look like, and focus on developing love for myself before I could really be loved. So those are my examples of how we can manifest things that we don't want, things that we do want, and in between manifesting but not ready to hold on to it yet.
I love that. That's such a great example. That is so true. I get so many times where it's like, oh, wait, and then we question, and it's like that doubt takes us out. Yeah.
I love that you're bringing that up, Laura, because that's exactly what was kind of circulating in my thoughts prior to you sharing, is just like manifestation through, for example, I'll share my own individual lens as a cycle breaker, right? Like many of us grew up and were raised in homes where dreaming wasn't safe, right? Our nervous systems learned to survive, not expand. Right? Manifestation for cycle breakers is not about thinking positive, and manifesting what is in your thoughts. It's about unwinding the survival patterns so that our bodies can actually feel safe enough to receive the manifestation that we're wanting to have, right? It really happens. I feel like the deepest magic really happens when you shift from that self-protection to that self-permission. And there's a process, because this is something that I've really very much journeyed through myself. It's really about healing as the gateway to manifestation, because you cannot, and this is something that I have lived, you cannot create what your nervous system believes is dangerous, right? So even if you want, like let's say you want $1,000 or something like that, right? Like that's something you want to manifest into. But if your nervous system is not feeling safe enough to be able to accept and receive that $1,000, you're not going to receive it, right? Or there's going to be self-sabotage. There's going to be all of these kind of things that are going to really detour us from that manifestation, right? And so for me, it has really been about healing shame, healing unworthiness, healing fear of visibility, internalized oppression, so that my desires have a room to land, right? So that the manifestation is embodied. Because if my body doesn't feel safe, my dreams can't root. Right. And so some of the things that have helped me and that I love what you've been talking about, Janaki, I think that's how you say your name, just around the earth medicines and seasonal wisdoms. For me, just like nature manifests it through cycles, right? There's rest, there's release, there's resource, there's rising. And so our desires also have seasons, right? And I feel like our magic is the strongest when we honor our natural rhythms of life. So for example, right now we're heading into winter. So the wintering for me feels like and looks like, starting to kind of pull back and starting to rest and starting to integrate and really allow myself to land in everything that has happened in this year, right? And there's certain practices that I really lean into, certain herbs, there's fire, there's water, there's grounding, all of that kind of stuff to really allow myself to anchor the manifestations into my physical body. Right. And so those are some of the things that have really, really helped me. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was the shadow work of manifestation. Manifestation, it will inevitably invite us, really bring up fear. It's going to bring up fear, grief, old identity structures. It's going to be very revealing as to the things that we need to get in line with, right? And so many of us fear that expansion, right? Because we once learned that standing out, for example, or speaking out or wanting more was dangerous, right? And so unless we acknowledge that and really, really embody the safety within our nervous system, it's just going to be like hitting a brick wall. And then we start getting into the patterning and thinking like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I manifest these things? Why can that person can just say this affirmation every day and then suddenly they have this new job or whatever is the case, right? And sometimes we have to understand that it's so far beyond us sometimes, right? And then that's when the shadow work really comes into place, where we're really leaning into the things, those edges, the things that cause us to get anxious and fearful and all of that kind of stuff. And then we have to really meet ourselves with so much compassion, right? Because the shadow is not the block, it's the part of us that really wants to come out and wants to come home. It's just we have to allow for it to be seen, right, in a safe manner so that we can be safe enough to receive all the abundance of the world, right? And so, those are my 2 cents on the topic.
Wow. When you said the safe to come home, I can really feel that in my body, and tears started filling my eyes because that's been my journey since I was little. As I would look at the stars and say, I want to go home. And then I realized when I was 18, attempting to take my life, I was pregnant with my son. And I said, I want to go home. I want to go home. And then I heard, you are home, heaven on Mother Earth. So that is my big why, is like not the destination to get to. It's being here now. It's being here in our body. It's being home in the temple of our body through the altar of our hearts. And so much of what you shared is the why of my Prospice portal. And it was opened up the multidimensional ways of receiving. Now, I wouldn't have asked for it in that way. I mean, my husband got like a flesh-eating bacteria and almost died. And like, it allowed me to shed those identities. It allowed that expansion that I was asking for. And I kept reminding myself, you asked for this, as I was like crying and like my world shattering. And then remembering, oh, wait, that's what I heard, is when one world seems to crumble, a new one is being built. And that's what I keep hearing is we're building on the sacred structure, which is where we're safe, secure, and sovereign. And like I have this whole breakdown in my guidebook that I've uploaded, downloaded, and that's the sacred structure. That's where we're coming back, rooting into our sovereignty, not the false structures of security, where the false structures of codependence, where it's in our outer world. We're all coming back home to ourselves. So thank you for sharing that. And yeah, it's in those shadows, it's in those valleys. It's like the greatest gifts.
May I jump in?
Yes.
Abby, that wasn't 2 cents. That was $1 million. because that's what it's about, really. And the healing work is again imperative. I spent nearly 30 years of my 60 something on the planet trying to manifest. And what you just shared was exactly what was happening. Remember the secret? It was really easy, right? Why wasn't it easy for me? And the more I kept saying that, the harder it got and the less I was manifesting. So it wasn't until I found myself through the healing of my old identities, I guess, my pieces of pain, that I bravely, and I say this, it's brave work to actually go there and feel what you need to feel to heal, right? That's a bit of a cliche, but you really need to do that. And in that process, releasing is a portal for receiving exactly what you said. So I just want to honor that because that was just so beautifully said. And we aren't our past. And coming home is just like you say, Janika, just coming home to self and being prepared to be open to feel what you need to feel, to release, to receive. And I just wanted to, that's just what it's about, right? For me personally. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
So
love to come in on that.
I love all the mirrors that we all are reflecting within ourselves. And this to me is magic because we all hold, water holds codes. We're all water, so we all have different codes. And as we share in our authentic expression, we awaken within ourselves. We're like, oh, it's the remembrance journey. So thank you. It's been amazing. Anyone else would like to?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yes.
Yeah, Laura, love yourself. That's where it begins. When we recognize that I'm looking for it outside of myself, and that's where our shame comes in, our unworthiness, like Abby said it so beautifully, that we're not loving ourselves because we don't know how to, or we've forgotten how to because no one's shown us how to when we were little, because we're living off the expectation of what love looks like for somebody else. And we're always reaching out for that love. So it's actually coming home and recognizing what love means to me, because the shame I carry or the unworthiness is actually somebody else's. It's told me that's shameful. How could you do that? So I've carried that and said, oh, that's mine. I'm going to put it in my backpack and I'm going to carry it for the rest of my life. And that's what love looks like. So I'm going to invite everything else that looks shameful into my life so easily, because that's what love looks like for me. And that was for me, is that I was always reaching out. I wanted to feel loved because I didn't know how to feel love, how to love myself, because I didn't know what that looked like. So, I was willing to put up with feeling unworthy, to feeling all the shame, to feeling all those things, because I thought if that's what someone will love me because of that, because that's what's been shown to me. And I've decided to carry that, and then awakening and that awareness and having that magic being presented to me. And it was a catastrophic thing that happened, but it was like, oh, I've got to do this. Oh, it's got to come. I've got to love myself. I can't reach. No one's going to give me what I want because I'm not them. I'm this spark, this being. That what does love look like for me? What does it feel like? And seeing the truth of all of that, as Abby said it so beautifully, I can't even top that. But it is, the catalyst is, what does love look like and feel like for me? And then going from there, because as Abby said before, as the layers is going back and undoing all of those, is that those memories or those trauma don't go away, but you don't feel them the same. They become something that you can share with somebody else and say, hey, I feel you, I've been there. You know, I can see, and I see what it does to you. And this is, you know, because it doesn't have that impact. It doesn't play a major role in my life anymore. I don't feel that shame because I feel love.
Mm,
Yeah, and forgiveness is the greatest key as well. Forgive
mm.
yourself. Mm.
So, so important. Yes, I agree. One of the ways, and we'll also be wrapping this up shortly, I got to experience and playing with the art of manifestation of, so I have a Sounds of Soul retreat, which is my women's retreat, and kept going back and forth like, where's it going to be? And so I wrote down, I have the most aligned place for all women who are meant to be on this journey for the grid work of the planet, for the ultimate perspective and the highest light in 48 hours. And I was like, why did I write 48 hours? What am I doing? And then I show up to this at the end of the 48 hours. I show up and I find this beautiful location in Guatemala. And I'm like, oh my God, this is it. And it was at the end of the 48 hours. Here's the cosmic joke and the cosmic twist. I kept saying it's for every woman to stand in their power, because of my own experience, what I received is we're rising of the feminine energy, and it's not the feminine against the masculine, it's the divine union coming together. And so what I heard is, for us women, I was in the lake and I heard this: for your husband to rise, for the masculine to rise, you must stand and ground in your power. And so I was like, this is what this retreat's for, to stand and root and ground in your power. And it's going to take that leap of faith. It's going to take courage. And then I kept hearing what I was telling all the women. I'm like, wait, you haven't bought your plane ticket. Cosmic joke. The retreat was only meant for me. So I went to Guatemala by myself. And so it's been the most wild journey. I thought it was wild before, and it's been so wild to take that leap of faith and to really listen and walk that path of courage and walk what we talk. And so yeah, that's been one of my most recents. And like, when I got back, I was ready to leave my husband, and by the end of that night of my birthday, by me choosing me, and I said, I choose me and I choose my sovereignty. I say yes to me and my sovereignty. We ended up coming back together closer than we ever have in a long time. And that's my little bit of magic recently. I mean, there's been so much. And yeah, so I would love to hear a tip, what we can offer for everyone else listening. If you all can share a short little tip of what you would suggest that could be great to support one to integrate their own magic.
I can share that, you know, as you've heard in the conversation today, manifestation is not about forcing, you know, life to kind of bend at your will. It's not going to happen that way. It really is about aligning with life, with the call that has always been there, right? That has always called for you. And in my own personal journey and my experience, when you heal, you not only remember who you are, you stand in your lineage, you lead from your feminine power, you become a living portal of possibility, right? And you don't just manifest magic, you become the magic. And that's really where, like I said, you become the medicine. You are the medicine. Many of my teachers always speak to that, right? Where we go on this quest of like, what is my journey? What is my medicine? What are my gifts? What are all the, and like, we all have gifts, every single one of us. We're not special. I didn't just wake up and it's like, you're going to be gifted. It's like every single one of us has medicine, has gifts, right? It's just about really learning about where they are underneath all the layers and all the trauma and all the things that have been told to you, all of that kind of stuff. You just have to really lean into the shadows to be able to then you know, come out on the other side and discover what that is, right? And I think it was Denise that talked about how the power of moving through those shadows and coming out on the other end. Like, that's the work I do, you know, with the women that I so gratefully get to work with, is really allowing and seeing them face to face, eye to eye, and saying, I feel you, I see you, I've been you, and here's how I've been able to go on to the other side. Let me take your hand and let me guide you to this this other side so that you can learn about your own unique magic, right? And then manifest the world, the life of your dreams, which is completely possible for every single one of us. So those are my words of wisdom for the closing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And who else would like to jump in? We'll just jump in.
I,
Yeah.
I can go next. Yeah, I love how Abby, you were talking about, if we try to get it, it doesn't happen, right? That's not manifestation isn't about forcing, right? And so my tip is to think of manifestation like catching butterflies with your hands. If you're trying to catch the butterflies, like you're not going to do it. They're going to fly away from you. It's not going to happen, right? To catch the butterflies, we need to be still and we need to wait for the universe to deliver to us and be ready to receive it. But the more we grasp for it, the more out of reach it's going to be for us. So that's my tip is be still, be self-compassionate, be in love and see what happens.
Love what you're sharing. Um, I love it. That darkness is the portal, that is the light, takes us to activation, and then just being still to receive the magic, to receive the manifestation that we really want because we are manifesting otherwise. I think for me, the biggest thing around manifestation has been just understanding that we are co creators of our life. Like, I think sometimes that can be a myth, and we think we are the creators. You are the co creator. And the co creator with you is the universe itself. And once you start partnering with the universe, then things get a lot easier. So, examples of what that might be understanding what your soul really wants from you. So, for example, if for somebody, they have really come on the planet to work with animals. They could try as much as they want and work in a tech industry, but if their purpose is really around working with animals and helping that healing happen, then it's just going to be much more upstream for them doing all the things and really trying to lean in, but just doing something very different. So it's just knowing, understanding what is it that you want. Once you start doing that, Abby, I think as you were pointing out, once you've done that, once you're really in route with your soul's essence and working with that, then you can actually even summon the support from your ancestors, from the whole universe, from the star systems, everybody around you to really propel you forward at a much more accelerated rate. But do the creation that your soul wants, it's a lot easier than going upstream.
I love that. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Who else?
Yeah, I'd like to. I think it being open to receive, what, I always explain and talk with my clients, the universe is always talking to us. We have that relationship where when I think something, speak something, it goes out and it manifests. So it's about what's coming back. What's the knock-on effect, I suppose? What's the nudge to say yes or no? Because those are the only two. Yes or no. Do I want to do this? Yes or no. And allowing, yourself to be open and aware and to receive what's coming to you. That little still voice. And we say it as the intuition. We say it as the gut feeling, or that voice in the back of your head that says no or stop. And it's very quiet. So actually allowing ourselves to quiet and weave out all the chaos and do our rituals and all those things that helps us weave out the chaos. But, when a beautiful thing I would love to say is that when you seek out someone to guide you, to show you, to help you, to support you, go in with the expectation of yourself, not of them, in the sense of they're here to guide you. We can't tell you what to do. Because if I'm telling you what to do, you're not actually taking ownership of yourself. So it's a being open to you start working and allowing yourself to take charge of yourself, not somebody else to take charge of you. These beautiful souls have so much to give you, and it's just allowing yourself to be open to receive and listen to what the discomfort is, the playback, you know, and feeling it. Does that feel icky? Does that feel really hard? And actually speaking that. Because once you start speaking all that truth, you'll start finding answers in that as well. And that's what coaches help you to do. That's what they're here to do. They're not here to tell you you should do it this way and this is what's happening, so you can't do this anymore. It's them allowing your voice to come forward, allowing your heart to come forward, allowing it to you speak for yourself, and then having that support there to go, oh yes, I can see that for you. You know, allowing you to enrich yourselves. That's the beauty of self-healing and these magical women helping you get there, supporting you to get there.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And Joanne?
Yeah, my little tip, just quickly, because I know we're out of time, just to be present, to practice presence, to just be present with yourself, to make time just to be still and be out in nature and honor all the things, all the parts of yourself, you know, the shame, the blame, the guilt, all the things that we carry for eons, and just love them anyway, because it's not who you truly are. It's just what's happened along the way that has be attached itself to you, I guess. So because and just allow things to unfold, you know. So that comes back to the awareness piece, and Kanika was talking about, you know, just allowing them to unfold. Don't fight the process. Like you go out in nature and you see it's just unfolding, right? It's just is. So going in places like that, it doesn't try. It is. It's just unfolding naturally. So allowing yourself to really unfold naturally and listen to the inner guidance that we all have into what we need to do next. And if that means just nothing, which I have been in the last few months, I was forced to do nothing, then listen to that, because through that you will receive the guidance. But yeah, just be present. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I'll share. I agree with all of you, what you're sharing, and really, it's what you were already sharing is like the more we connect in, the more we connect with all, and we connect with our everything and our nothing, and so that's what actually I heard. I channeled within me. I said, I was like, stop trying to measure money. Like that's what my true self said. And the more you connect in, the more income you receive. And so that's what I received. The more we connect with source, the more resourceful we become, because we're connecting truly with source, and that's allowing ourselves to, it's again, alignment. And there, it takes some trust. Lots of trust and surrender, at least in my perspective. It's partnering with trust and surrender, trusting the process, and honor yourself as you are, where you are, with each step in each season. Thank you.
And thank you, if I can say, Janaki, for facilitating a wonderful conversation, an incredible wisdom circle. I've been sitting here in the background listening to everyone share all their wisdom, and I am grateful. Many tips about not just manifesting magic, the magic of manifestation. Many, many, many tips. Love it. And I'm going to be certainly rewatching this as well. And for everyone who is listening, do click on the links that will be below very soon and reach out to these wonderful women who have just given up an hour of their time to share their wisdom. And thank you. And thank you to Joe, because I do know that you said that you have to go soon. So I'm honored that you came on today. Really, really good to see you. Before we wrap up, Janaki, tell us very quickly about your wonderful tribe. And how do you bring in, well, I know because you're facilitating, but the tribe that you do, how do you bring in the magic of manifesting combined with sound healing?
Like as I shared in the beginning, I love being God's muse, channeling, singing music. And the message I received is I receive codes, and I find one of the fastest way, a fun way, there's multiple ways of reprogram one's mind is sound repetition and play. And I've got to witness even how it supported my husband when he was in the hospital. He said, "I heard your voice over and over. That's what got me out of the hospital." And so it's bringing our head and heart into coherence and into the presence of now. And I love playing in the quantum playground, and it's so fun playing music. I don't know what I'm going to say. I simply am a conduit vessel and allow source to come through me of whatever is meant to say in that moment.
And if I can say from my experience, it is absolutely incredible. So for anyone out there who would like to experience Janiki's magical, because it really is magical, sound healing and all things that she brings, do check out the Sense of the Soul below. Come and join us. Come and join sacredyou.love. You can join us for free to hang out in the village, or you can come and join us as a member and tune in to be in with Janaki, as well as all of our other tribes and all of our other things that we're offering, especially for next year. Stay tuned for next year. But not just next year, in 2 days' time, our beautiful Laura will be back. Very quickly, Laura will be back for Outgrowing Who You Used to Be, the gift of getting uncomfortable. So looking forward to that, Laura. Do you just want to say anything in 2 words about your wonderful circle that's coming? We're on.
Yeah, I'm just very excited. I know we did this once a few months ago and it was a fantastic conversation. And so I'm very excited to get back into it because I am passionate about helping people get uncomfortable now so that they can be more uncomfortable later.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about it too. 2 days' time, hang out till then, check out the village when we go live, and come and tune in to all the wonderful wisdom that these beautiful women, including Denise, will be joining us again in 2 days' time. And right now, thank you. I'm ever so grateful for this wonderful conversation. It has been a joy to listen to.
Mm,
Thank you
thank
so much. It's been amazing.